Hill now. And, sir, good morning to you. And we spoke last evening. Thank you for coming back.
Yes, sir.
What are you specifically looking for in this?
A neutral arbiter that has access to all the witnesses. The Department of Justice has a conflict, so they should not conduct this investigation. Michael Horowitz, the Inspector General, doesn't have access to non-DOJ employees or those who have left the department or the FBI, so he can't do it. It needs to be done. It needs to be done by somebody your viewers have confidence in. And I've been reluctant in the past to call for special counsel, Bill, but this is a unique fact pattern, and I think special counsel is the only entity that can do this effectively.
Yeah, what do you think happened here? What's in play for you?
Yeah, Bill, I got to confess to you, I am biased towards law enforcement. The FBI agents I worked with never evidenced this kind of bias or animus towards even a bank robber, much less a presidential candidate. I don't know what happened with these two particular agents, and I don't know why the Bureau would use opposition research in a court filing and they didn't bother to vet it or investigate it. You can be a fan of the FBI and still be troubled by what they've done and want to understand better how and why it happened, and that's where I am. I don't have a war against anybody in the FBI. I got a ton of friends that are still there, but these are legitimate questions. The FBI cannot investigate itself. Michael Horowitz can do some of it, but not all of it. And I think we need a woman or a man with an apolitical law enforcement background to get to the bottom of this, so your viewers can then go back to having confidence in the institutions of government.
So what you want to figure out what was happening in the days leading up to the election and during that period between the election day and the inauguration. Do you also want to know and reopen the Clinton email matter? And if so, you do not.
I do not. I have colleagues that do, in fairness to them. I didn't sign that letter, that request for special counsel. Whether or not I agree with that charging decision, it's been made. And practically, you can never go in front of a jury when the nation's top law enforcement officer, Jim Comey, would be defense witness number one. You just have no prospect of winning that case. So I am disappointed that they made their decision not to charge her before they even interviewed her. I am disappointed in the way the investigation took place. But that ship has sailed, and I don't think you can go back in this fact pattern after what Comey has said and have any chance of prevailing in a courtroom.
Do you believe in the FISA court still? Do you believe that as you do?
I do, Bill, for this reason. There are police officers who make mistakes on search warrants and arrest warrants every day across our country. We don't throw out the process. We don't throw out interviewing witnesses. We don't throw out searching houses. We get rid of the bad actors, but we don't throw out the process. The process has worked. This is the first conversation you and I have ever had, this fact pattern about FISA, even though it's been around for 2 decades. So it's not the process, it's the actors who were involved in 2016. And I think we got to be mindful to identify those folks who did not do their jobs properly. But don't throw out the entire process because we got a handful of bad actors.
Yeah, I saw the letter last evening. I assume it's in the hands of the Attorney General now. Does Jeff Sessions owe you an answer or not?
Legally, he does not owe us an answer. Practically,
so
I think
could this go nowhere, this request?
I think whenever you have the chairperson of Judiciary, Bob Goodlatte, who's a very measured, cautious, well-respected member, when he calls for something, when Chuck Grassley calls for something, when Lindsey Graham, all of whom are fans of the Department of Justice, when folks on your own side are saying you need to take a look at this, I think Jeff Sessions will take their perspective seriously. I think he will communicate to Chairman Goodlatte at some point whether or not he's going to do it. He doesn't owe us an answer legally. Practically, it'd be wise for him to consult.
Sir, thank you for your time yet again.
Yes, sir.
Gowdy there from the Hill. Thank you, sir. Our big morning from the White House is only getting